Jazz hands.
Woohoo! Hey, Chad.
Hey, fellas.
How are you?
Oh, geez, tough day in my line of work, or tough few days. Let me tell
Uh-oh.
you. Well, it's just heat index of 110,
Oh
and
boy.
so
Well,
you gotta watch your health. And my health this last year has been dodgy, so I'm having a double watch. So
how are your
it's
chickens
just been
doing?
tough. I bought a couple fans for them. I put ice in their water. And then we had an attack this morning by an unknown assailant. Um, it was definitely of the four-legged variety,
Ah,
and
Honey
so I had to
badger?
chase them off with guns. And I didn't get a good look at him because of my new visual situation. But I saw his trail and I saw his action. But I don't because they still aren't officially in bed yet tonight. I haven't checked to see who's missing. I haven't been able to figure out who's missing. So it's one of five different guys I can tell because of the feathers that were there left behind.
oh,
Talking about
But
like one
it
of your
might not be a
roosters?
no, chicken.
what's that?
You think it was one of your roosters?
No.
No, 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 definitely not. They're too smart to get caught.
Okay, well you
So,
said guys, so I assume the
oh,
roosters.
sorry, one of my ladies. One of my
Yeah.
ladies.
And if you love Satara, or if you love the ladies, you have to love Satara.
We got a
Oh
we got a new batch of chickens this April, and it looks like
yeah, good.
at least one of them is a rooster, maybe two. We think two of them are
Yeah,
roosters. So
it's bet that sexing them when they are very small is more of an art than a science.
yeah. Well,
And even though
we've been lucky. We've never gotten a rooster before.
see, my first batch of 19, I didn't get any. And I was like, man, I'm a freaking genius. And I didn't have any die through predators or illness. And I was like, oh, this is easy. And then my next batch that I got, which is 21, I think maybe half of them were killed by either disease or predators in the first year. And I was just like, oh, okay, this is what people are talking about.
Yeah.
And not only that, but two of them were roosters. So sucked. But now I'm up to five roosters, and only two of them are actually three of them are worth a shit. But then two of the guys are just useless. They're just terrible. And if I had a kill policy here with the chickens on Chili Trout Farm, I would have shot those guys long ago. But I promised two of my restaurants I got a no kill policy, so I'd like to be a man of my word when it comes to that stuff. So I'm not killing them. Although I think we discussed this a couple of years ago. I'm about to hire somebody to make an accident happen. So
Well, you ship
mob
them off,
style.
ship them off your land, right?
Yeah. Well, I got some ideas. There's a sanctuary near me, and I was thinking about getting one of them to the sanctuary. So is that a bottle? Oh, sorry, a box of wine there,
Oh yeah,
Lucifer?
that's Boda.
Add a boy. I
Lou just said he was raising two cocks.
yes.
One or two.
All right, I got five cocks. I got cocks like I got fingers. So
Jesus Christ.
Are the roosters okay with the chickens? I heard they can be rough with them.
oh yeah, they can definitely be rough with them. They're rougher with each other though, but they can be rough with the ladies. But weirdly enough, they keep the ladies from fighting each other though. Because before I had roosters, the ladies were battling all the time. But with the boys around, they put the stop to that. I thought that because an old fella told me that around here, and I kind of thought that was just sexist, drivel. And turns out that as soon as the roosters got big enough, they put a stop to all the ladies fighting. There'll be little battles here and there, little tete-a-tetes, but not
The roosters
serious
get over there
battles.
real quick.
Yeah, they get over there real fast and slap them down. No, they don't. They stand in between them and make sure it doesn't happen.
You know what I thought
So,
was amazing? A few nights ago, we're on the driveway with the baby, the chickens, the young ones, because they're not with the other chickens yet.
Chicks?
We haven't
right,
The
put them in
chicks?
and
yeah,
and all of a sudden, the one that we know is a rooster, he started to make this sound. I can't even imitate it, but it's just like a little, sound like that. And the other
Yeah.
chick, they have no experience. They're so young.
It's just in their instinct to crow,
They
and it's
admit
like you're trying even early in
they
life. It sounds
immediately
like
followed him, and he went back into the garage, and they went back into their pen that we have in the garage, and they followed him. And I was like, what the hell is going on? And
he's the fucking king.
then a hawk appeared, like,
Yeah.
in the backyard, and went like along the side of the house. I couldn't believe we didn't see it at all. And the only thing that we heard beforehand was maybe some like stray birds in the trees, like we're starting to make a
Yeah.
noise, and it communicated with him somehow, and he knew that I mean, it was crazy. And I was like, I could see how an experienced rooster would know how to do that, but how does this guy? He's not even out
He
yet,
just
really.
he just knows the shape inherently, and it's just like how cats jump at pickles because they think it's a snake. It's the same thing. He just knows that shape in the sky means danger. And my girls do the same thing, and my boys will do the same thing to the girls. But he has a growl. Well, they all have growls, and I imitate that when I see one, and I start making it too, and then they run. I imitate what some of the noises the roosters do. Like there's this one chuck 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 sound they make that I do that is like, "Hey, food's over here," or "Come to me." And I do that noise, and then there's an alarm version where it's just a growl, and then it has a little chuck 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 chucks on the end. It means it's alarming, something's bad, but run to me and I'll protect you. And then he runs in and they all follow him or what have you,
Yeah.
like if there's a bad guy around. But yeah, so they somehow it's instinctual and inherent. That it's not even a learned thing because I've had like baby chicks that have had no experience, not baby chicks, but like small hens, like the equivalent of teenage hens. And the first day with the rooster, the first time they make a noise, bam, they know what to do.
Yeah.
And it's weird, but some don't. Some are just idiots, and those are the ones you got to keep an eye on because they start off dumb and they remain dumb. But some of our humankind we know of some types like that too. So, but anyway, but many of them pick up on it. I mean, like right away, if not already. You know,
I think it's
so
amazing.
it is. It really is. But like I said, I've learned to co-opt their language and their signals, and I do the same thing. But then I do some human ones, like I'll yell out hawk, or I'll yell out raccoon, or I'll yell out coyote, and they all put their heads up, and then the roosters start making all their noise, and it's a big chaos, and we're all running in different directions. I'm running to grab various firearms,
It's like
and
who
they're
concert
running
at
into
Chili
take
Trout
cover.
Farm.
Yeah.
So
So
let me ask you
yeah.
this. So I mean, are your chickens more egg layers, or are you like having chicken Vesuvio on Thursday nights?
No, mine are
Eggs.
they're of the egg laying variety, but
Okay.
I have about a third of mine are what's called dual breeds that you can eat also. But it was right when I first started out like 8, 9 years ago. I had a vegetarian restaurant that he's like and he was like one of my only restaurant customers back then. And he was like, well, hey, you have a no kill policy, right? And I'm like, and he's buying
I
15
do
dozen a week
now.
from me. Right. And that mentally, that's what I said. I said, well, I do now. But my mouth said, oh, of course we do. Here on Chili Trout Farm, we're very careful. As a matter of fact, my wife's a vegetarian. And he's like, oh, that's fantastic. Well, I was just making sure because we only buy from people that have no kill policy. So ever since the beginning, I
It's like
did.
I just
But
don't
I
let it
just,
off the farm. It's
yeah.
for me only.
Right. No, but I don't say anything about the couple steers or couple hogs we raise or the couple goats we raise. But as far as the chickens go, it's a no-kill policy, and that's also why, like the hens when they get old. As a matter of fact, a lot of chicken farms at 3 or 4 years old, they'll pop them because that's the oldest a hen will be while it still tastes good.
How old?
Where on and also that's when they really start dropping off at 5 and 6 is when they really start dropping off production egg wise.
Yeah.
And I'll let my girls go as long as they live. And I got one right now well, actually, I have four right now that are some of those original 18, and I'm up to 140 hens. So
How old is the oldest?
she'd be 9 now.
Oh, okay.
I got four of them that are 9. And then I got a rooster who's my favorite rooster who's 8. And he's good, but he's way down the pecking uh chain as far as the roosters go. Like I said, out of the five roosters, he's number four. But he was the originally top dog rooster. Then he got defeated by number two, and then so on down. And he's in a pitiful state now because he's number four, and he's used to being the boss. But he was actually the best rooster out of them all. Like he was the one that was the best at looking out for his ladies, and he was a believe it or not, he was a gentle lovemaker because some of the roosters get pretty violent when they make, when they're with their ladies. And
He was
also,
listening to Tara.
yeah, right.
Is your sweetie pie still alive? The blind
My
one?
main sweetie,
The blind one?
uh, yes, she is still alive. I've still been able to maintain her and keep her going.
That's good.
She had a about 8 months after you met that one. I had another one go blind. And I thought I was going to keep her for a while. It's one of the judges, one of those Delawares, the white with the white with the black collar,
Uh-huh.
Huh?
and she was doing good. But then other ladies, started being mean to her and drive her off. So she was a walker. She'd start walking and nothing would stop her. I found her out in the middle of the field. Like I said, I'm completely free range. I found her out in the middle of the field, like a mile away from the house. And I had to walk all the way down, grab her, and pick her up, and bring her back. Well, one night she walked off and I couldn't find her. And I looked around in the dark forever for with flashlight and everything else, and it was buggy as hell. And she's out in the middle of the woods, and I went out and looked for her the next morning, and sure enough, there was a pile of white and black feathers.
Uh,
So somebody found her. But that one the Curly, the one that you met, the blind one, no, she's still doing great. She's still laying eggs and everything. She still comes when I call her. And she's
Curly was one of our
totally
favorites.
dominated by the chickens because they know she's one of my favorites
yeah.
because they know I've affected their political system. So I've cleared the deal as it is,
So
So
now they don't fuck with her as much.
I put my thumb on the scale. Was it?
They don't fuck with her now, huh?
No, they don't, because they know that the big boss, the number one rooster, might get upset, as in this guy. Because I still
Yeah.
make sure that I am boss over the roosters too, because if the roosters think they're the boss of you, that's when they start, acting. So if they are start acting up on me, if a rooster, which some will challenge Janine or the kids or something like that. There's one especially that's called Calico, but they all call him Spotted Dick because he's an asshole. And so what I do is if any of the roosters act up on me, I just pick them up and start carrying them around for a long time, which they don't overly care for. So I carry them around with me for an hour, and then after about an hour, then he knows who's boss, and I set him back down. And then he's like making his gentle noises, like "I love you, big man," noises. So just carry him around for a while, and then if that really doesn't work, it doesn't hurt him or anything, but it annoys the hell out of him. There's these green sticks I use to prop up the tomatoes, like the poles. I walk around and I tap
Yeah.
them in between the shoulder blades of those poles until they start minding. And I don't hit them, but I just go like think, think, think. It's like a little brother, like tugging on your shirt or like pulling your hair or something like that. It's like the rooster equivalent of that. Then after that, then they don't give me any guff.
I think
So
just carrying them around is enough because like they're probably like, oh my God, this is so embarrassing. I hope Ed doesn't
I
see,
know,
like
I know. I'm gonna be number three rooster for sure if I get seen carrying around like this. Yeah, I know. Absolutely. Okay, last bit of farm
Yeah,
stuff
punk.
though, but I tell you,
dun dun
last bit
dun
of
dun
farm stuff
dun
is that
dun.
these last few days, I gotta tell you guys, brutal, unbelievable. You're sweating after 2 minutes out there. You're seeing stars after 30 minutes. I just don't know how some of our brown comrades out there in the fields just do it. And granted, like I said, I've had more health issues than I can count this last year, and it's just brutal. And I'm still working 14, 15-hour days, but I'm the owner, so I can call for breaks when I want to. They're not the owners, so they're working
Yeah.
14, 15-hour days just like me, 7 days a week. Well, maybe they get off Sundays, being good Catholic guys. Uh,
How many
but
people you got
they're
working for you?
yeah, yeah, that's what I can't afford them. So even at immigrant wages. So I count on volunteers, or I what actually, because I rarely get those too, but usually what I do is I just hire somebody for 2 days of really intense stuff and just pay them a lot of money, um, and then just hire them super short part time. So anyway, it's just been these last few days. I haven't in the 8 9 years I've been doing this, I haven't experienced anything like this for this long. We've had like one day like this or 2 days like this, but not 5 days now with 70% humidity and 97, 98-degree temperatures. It's like the equivalent of like 115, 118 out there.
There's
It's
like
like
no
some of
break
the,
from it.
yeah, there's no, it's relentless.
I think we
It's
only got into the
relentless.
90s today, and then
Yeah.
by Thursday it's supposed to be 70s again.
Yeah. See, I'd kill for the 90s. I'd
Hey,
kill for like the low 90s.
do you have any
So,
extra window units or anything?
well, there's actually, I don't know if you remember when you're out at the barn, there's 2 or 3 ancient air conditioners out in the barn. And I
Why don't you
thought about
plug one
trying
in
to
and see if
fire
it
them up.
works? Dude, like fire
Yeah,
one up, see if it works, and
I
throw it in
thought
that
about it.
fucking chicken coop.
Oh, absolutely. But the thing is I'm afraid of a fire because there's been so many birds making nests inside of and stuff like that. So God knows what's going on inside those guys. They haven't been fired up in 10, 12 years. But what I did do today is, and I did it a little bit yesterday, but I did do today during one of my things, I bought these fans and I put them in the windows for at night so they can get some night air in there during the night. And then I got 2 circulating fans inside that I wired up. So, because the thing is, chickens, they're kind of like cats. They're the cats of the avian world. They can't stand to see something not knocked over. They chickens knock everything over. Period. If they can knock it over, they will. So I had to wire everything up and screw everything in, and do all kinds of stuff. So when I finally got it done, there's a couple fans that are circulating back and forth. There's 2 fans blowing in through the windows, and there's one kind of big hurricane fan that's just blowing across the barn. Because as you know, the barn's pretty big. It's probably what 30 by 80. So it's a big size thing. But I tell you, none of them, all of them, they put their wings out. I can't show you, but here they put their wings out to their sides like this and just hang there because they can't even stand to have their own wings touch themselves. So they're like
They
this, and
just they're trying to like air out their armpits. They're sweating so
right,
much.
exactly.
When I
Oh,
worked
I feel,
on the pig farm in Genoa, they had a
yeah.
wall. They had a wall that had like a hose with punctured holes in it, so it was like dribbling water down the wall. And they had this giant fan behind it, and it really worked. I mean, it
Oh,
was,
it does.
yeah,
It really does. But the thing is, you need drains and stuff like that. If I had that, I'd have all kinds of fungal and foot rot
right,
disease
right,
in
right.
about a day. But yeah, but I remember one of the hog farms I worked at growing up because I didn't get an allowance, so I had to work for other farmers for money. Um, uh, I worked at a hog farm. It was a miserable job though, just terrible.
Was it in
I
Genoa? Because
wrote a
that's where
short
I worked.
story about one of the worst experiences of my life when they clogged one of the sewage pits underneath. One of those got clogged,
Oh,
and it kept filling up and filling up and filling up. And then he was a classmate of mine, but he was also my boss. He was a classmate of mine in high school. I show up one day and he goes, Chad, there's good news and there's bad news. I said, well, what is it? He goes, well, first of all, he says, you only have to work for an hour today. And I was like, oh, that's fantastic. He goes, and I'm paying you a full day work. I'm like, this is great. And then he goes, but
Scuba diving and pig shit.
yeah, he gave me this is for real though. He gave me a condom and a jar of Vaseline. And I said, whoa, wait a minute, where's this going? And
said Chad, it's
so,
time to get initiated. No.
right, exactly, into the pig club. Anyway,
The Ned Beatty Pig
so
Club.
I had to go down into this the sewage. I forget. It's been so long now. And not only that, I've been in the heat for 4 days, so I'm forgetting words now. This is how bad it is. It's affecting me so much that I'm forgetting what things are called. But anyway, he's down in the sluice pits, the shit. No, he's not. I'm about to go in there. And he goes, yeah, I noticed it was kind of screwing up about a month ago. And we kept thinking we got to do something about it. But now it's just so deep. You're the only one that can be that can not that could get in there with it, having it still below his chin. And I'm like, holy shit. So when I climbed down in this, you know me, I'm 6'6", almost 6'7". It was over my shoulders. I had to keep up my chin like this to
Oh.
keep my head. And none of that, but it's just
Where
swimming
the
with
shit
maggots. And
from?
over the top of the maggots, there's rats swimming around, chomping on dead baby pigs that have fallen down into it. I'm not shitting you. But what the Vaseline and the condom was for was I had to put the condom on my flaccid Johnson and took a rubber band and to tie it on to there because he goes, you don't want anything swimming up your willy. And I'm like, yeah, I don't. So did that. And then I put Vaseline over my bunghole to keep anything from coming up that direction. It was just thinking back of it
If
as
he came
nightmare
up in that
inducing.
direction, wouldn't the Vaseline help it out?
No, it creates like a plug. That's what the theory was, and it turns out it was a good theory because nothing went up. So anyway,
Tells me this was a huge prank and you got punked.
oh yeah, no, it's not. And I was down there, and not only that, but there's barely any oxygen down there, and the drain, the manual release for it, there's a big giant wrench, like this big, like its end was like this big around, and it's in the center of the sluice pit. And it was on kind of a pedestal, so I had to go down and keep my head above water. Of course, no beer back then, thank God. Keep my head not above water, but keep my head above the shit, and do it blindly,
Well,
opening
shit
it up
level.
blindly until I could hear it flowing. And then once it did, I thought I was going to pass out. I was already seeing stars and stuff. I already had to, not that. There's barely any light down there because you're in the slats above your head. There's hogs, hundreds of hogs over your head on these, and they're still pissing and shitting, and stuff is still falling down. So I loosen this up. I can hear it start to move. So I'm moving towards the edge and just trying to make it towards the light because that's where the one section he'd taken out of the slotted pit, slots was. So I made it to there. I see a hand come down, and I didn't know if I could get out. That's how bad my oxygen was. So he calls his brother, and they pull me up by my arms. And I get out there, and I'm just laying there amongst the hogs, just going, that was the worst thing that ever happened in my life, times 10. At the end of February, and maybe about 37, 38 degrees. They shot the cold water from the hose, washed me down. Thought I was going to die from that after about 5 minutes. I went inside, and I told him I quit, obviously. And he goes, no, no, Chad. He says, I decided I'm gonna double your pay today. And I was like,
Oh,
woohoo.
jeez.
I'm pretty sure I was making 5.25 an hour. So he gave me $11 for a full day's, $11 for my normal 70. So think I made $80 for doing that, honestly. It was
Bucks for
about 80
almost getting
bucks.
goddamn like just diseased.
Asphyxiated, disease, the whole 9 yards. I came home, I told my roommates about it. I was living in DeKalb at the time. Told my roommates about it. They said, no, no, that really didn't happen. No, that's just too much. It's too much. And I even left out some of the nastiest bits just because I was afraid they wouldn't touch with me or eat with me again. So I even left out the worst part. So anyway, so then when we're done, I said, well, you don't think it, believe me, I took off my shirt. And even though I was well tanned from that summer of one of the few times I was going shirtless, of hacky sacking and, punk shows that were outdoors and stuff like that. I was still well tanned. It had bleached my skin completely white and including the hairs. And within 2 days, all the
What?
hairs that was below my chin fell off. Then they believed that it happened. They completely bleached me white.
What year was it? Because I worked at the pig farm in 91, I think, or 92.
I think
Oh,
this was like 88. This is before I moved to England. So it's probably about 88 or 89. Actually, it was 89 or 90 because that was one of the reasons I was working that job was to get money to move over, which was going to be a temporary move to London and turned out to be a semi-permanent move for a couple of years. But anyway, for those
I was
of
in Korea at that time.
for those of you guys out there in TV land, you can turn back on now. That's that pig story is over.
Hey,
So
let's talk some baseball.
yeah, how about that? Oh
What was
goodness.
those
Uh,
baseballs?
all right. I'll say this that it'd be refreshing to get some positive points out of pitching because I looked at Brown again tonight and he got a -9 for me. And then I
Who?
had some negatives a couple days before.
Dude, that was my whole last week. I got the
Yeah,
0-6. The guys I had on my squad failed me. The guys they were picking up did better than the guys I
yeah.
had on my squad
What
originally.
pitcher do you have,
So
Chad?
it's like,
I had Brown,
Brown? Hunter Brown?
Cubby. No, the
Oh,
Cubby.
Ben Brown.
Yeah.
I dropped
And
him in one of my leagues.
I almost dropped him about a million different
Is
times.
he going to get moved to the
And
bullpen when Imanaga comes back? Is he going to be the odd man out?
I'm pretty
you
sure he
could, I
is.
think Colin Ray could
Pretty
be.
sure he is.
I think Colin
Yeah,
Ray
well,
could be.
I thought Ray would actually do quite good with the Cubs because I thought he was great with the Brew, not great. He was passable with the Brew Crew, but he always did well in Wrigley Field, and but he's not panned out.
Here's the thing, though. Ray is kind of like a switch between relief pitcher starter. He can do both.
Yeah,
Whereas Brown is young and he's only been a starter,
right.
really. I
That's true.
mean, for the most part.
Well, it'll be a big adjustment for him,
So,
you know.
do you really want to wreck the kid's confidence, or do you really? I mean, who's going to take it
Right.
better? Let me close these blinds. I mean, some of that goes into it, I'm sure.
Oh, for sure.
The
Absolutely.
psychology of it all.
Yeah, look at some guys that wrecked them, and then other guys like Eckersley or who have
Damn near
what
killed
have
him.
you, it rejuvenated, them, wrecked them, almost killed them. Yeah, but no, other guys are rejuvenated.
Yeah.
So
All right, Lou, you want
Okay.
to run through it?
Yeah. Your video is frozen to me, at least. I don't know. I can still hear you,
oh,
though.
Jeff's or me?
We
Jeff.
can hear you. I can see you move.
Yeah.
I can't see you either, Jeff.
You like you're
You can't
frozen.
see me at all.
No, I can see you, but you're like a ventriloquist. How's he doing that? He's not moving his lips.
Okay, no, he's
Well,
doing it
it's all
now.
that
He's back
Japanese
now.
animation I watched.
Yeah, there's
Well,
nothing wrong with that, laddie,
Hell.
unless it's the octoporn. But
Hell. You want to hear something funny? I work with a guy. I work with a guy he went through Second City. And so when he had an agent and shit, and then somebody approached him after one of the shows and asked him if he would do some voiceover work. So what the voiceover work was for is like he made like 12 grand doing 3 different episodes of like animated tentacle porn, just a voiceover.
well, Jesus
And that,
Christ, with how much farming is paid the last couple of years, get me some tentacle porn voiceover jobs. I immersed myself in an actual lake of pig shit. I will definitely do tentacle porn. I mean, that's all I'm saying. I'm not
a
proud.
new sign out front, Chili Trout Farm Studios.
Right, right. And eggs, organic vegetables, and all the tentacle porn you can stomach.
I know he's out in the backyard. He's got a fucking swimming pool now, and it's got a fucking 3 octopuses in it.
Right.
We gotta make this
Oh
look
my
realistic.
goodness. Yeah, exactly. Hey, you guys keep talking. I'm gonna make an actual drink, and I'll be back literally 2 minutes. Continue.
Okay.
All right, when you come back, I gotta go make myself a drink.
Okay.
But
We'll just
Luke came packing.
we'll just do the dads here. Dads were straw spinners, lost 2 games over the weekend,
Oh, I know.
an 0-6, but you had 2 players of the week. Cal Raleigh, who's been Cal like probably about a third of the time, right? He's had
Dude.
12,
The
12
guy's
full
the
weeks.
guy's he's broken records now. The guy's fucking sick.
He's close to Judge, and if you use like a Fangraphs WAR. He's not quite at Judge, but he's like close, which is amazing because Judge is having one
But
of the
here's the
best
thing, though.
offensive
He's a
years ever.
fucking. How many catchers do that shit?
Right, right. No, it's and he's a good catcher. That's the thing.
Yeah,
He's not Mike Piazza. He's a good catcher.
yeah, exactly. You might be witnessing like the 2000s Johnny Bench, man. I mean, he's good.
I read an article about him that Bench is a big fan of his, and I guess he contacted him.
Oh, he isn't a big fan, or he is?
He is, and he
All right.
contacted Cal Raleigh. Anyways, you could tell Marte, another player of the week for the Dads.
Yeah, but yet they sat him one day last week. I'm like, what the fuck? Come on.
Was it a Sunday, like after a night
It
game or
was
something?
just a weird day. It was like Friday or some shit. He was like dealing players. Friday or Saturday. They like sat him. Or maybe it was yesterday. I don't know.
Because Lawler's
But
gone, right?
I was shocked that he was out of the lineup. I'm like, what the fuck?
I was worried about the playing time crunch, not for Marte really or Swart. That's the point. Like they sent Lawler back down, didn't they? Because where's he going to play? They've already committed to Perdomo. They've got Cattell Marte and Eugenio.
Right.
So, but I guess Eugenio might have left the game tonight. I think he got hit. I'm not sure.
Yeah, hitting the hand.
I don't know. I didn't see it, and I was searching for the Mets game tonight. I couldn't find it, so I gave up. No,
Nah.
I tried YouTube. I thought maybe it was on YouTube, so I went to Mets Braves YouTube, and I'm watching this game, and it was 7:30, here, and the game started at 7:10, and it said it was the bottom of the fourth, 1-0. You would have think that I would have noticed the graphics because it wasn't a baseball game. It was like a MLB The Show or something like that. They were recreating the game. And anyway, so I watched Big Inning on MLB Network, and I saw that they had the Mets game on there, and they had picks in the corner. So I was like, I get that channel. What? But it was mislabeled. It was like mislabeled as like a Penn and Teller special. It wasn't the Mets game, so I didn't record it. I only watched it for like 10 minutes before I came down here.
Nice.
Okay, hi.
All right.
Hi, welcome back.
Well, the standings, Bizzotti went 6-0. They're only half game back away till next year. Went 4-2. And I thought this was weird too. That I think this is the first time it's ever happened that we've only had 3 teams with the 7 players of the week. Daddy's had 2.
Wow.
Bizzotti had
Wow.
2. They had Buxton and Clark Schmidt. And then Rudy Canfield had 3. Eugenio, Jose Soriano, and Emmanuel
Yeah, the
Claus.
funny part about that is both of those guys took like a 6-0 and a 5-1, and I took an 0-6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we can see like the Daddies had the top OPS in the league for the week at 9.11, and you had the worst ERA at 7.11. So that's I guess when you have the good hitting and the bad pitching, the pitching wins out. I guess, or at least that's
Yeah, no kidding.
My
Well,
pitching fucked me.
I knew I was gonna have a poor week, but look at that. Daddies, you and I are separated by 6 points, but 2 wins on that.
200. Oh, I see.
Oh,
Oh,
last
yeah,
week?
yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, all I needed was David fucking Peterson to fucking give me 5 points. But he
Right.
got me -3. If he would have got me 5 points, I would have probably been like a 2-4. It's that close
Yeah.
right there, you know?
For the
Yeah.
year you're on the lucky side though. So you must have been close to like Gaggers are the lucky laggards, and you're 0.6 wins behind them. And this week you must have gotten that's pretty boned, because usually it's this number right here, 29. That's the average amount of points that it takes to get an extra win or loss. So you can see
I didn't know what that was. That's cool.
you had 6 points for 2 wins. So you got royally boned this week. Oh no, you had 2 more. What am I saying? Oh no, Jeff got boned. Oh, okay, yeah.
Jeff got boned. That's what I'm saying. Jeff got boned.
So Jeff's still like in the middle of the pack on the Buddha standings.
That was just my week to take one for the team, I guess.
Yeah. No, I know. I noticed that in the Buddhas that I've been doing pretty well because there's a couple times I squeaked by or what have you. So usually I'm amongst the league leaders of Buddha because I don't figure up my weekly points because I got too much other stuff going on.
Right, right. Well, I only look at it if I'm like way up or way down, you know.
Well, a little bird, occasionally a little Minnesota bird will reach out in previous years when he wasn't a Minnesota bird and will say, "Hey, you're you're 4 points from such and such. Watch your points this week." Okay, okay. Or watch your points the next couple days.
So you got Phil's like just like churning behind the scenes like some Game of Thrones character.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's not. It doesn't happen too often, but it happens often enough that I kiss him right on the lips every time I see him.
Yeah, I
Well,
love Phil.
Satch is right. You know, he's only 5 games back. He's been hanging out here just below the top four. So
Yeah, he had a good week.
Well, it is a. It is. I noticed this earlier tonight when I was eating my supper. Within a few minutes before I realized that tonight was the night I told you I'd do it. Um, it is a league of two different groups because us bottom guys are really bottoms. Jeff insert joke, and then the
Hello?
top guys are really tops, and it's really bunched up around the middle too. So it's very competitive, except for us 10 through 13s.
yeah.
Yeah,
But
well, you
then,
guys getting out of it though. See, I was stuck in that shit last year, and I got myself up to like, I mean, about this time of the year, I was down there. I mean, I
Yeah,
think I was in last place last year at one point, and I got myself up to like six by the end of the year.
yeah.
It can happen.
Oh, it can happen. Yeah, I was in the middle most of the year, and then I had a little bit of a tough time, and then made a push at the end. But this year, just
Look, you make the
injuries right
right
off the bat.
moves, your team takes off
Injury.
the right time. Next thing
Yeah,
you know, you fucking go 18-0 in 3 weeks, and then you're right in the fucking
absolutely,
thick of things.
absolutely. Well, I just had injury problems right off the bat for personally speaking.
Oh, Raleigh
I
just hit
lost a
another home
guy.
run, by the way.
I
jeez.
lost a guy the night before the draft and lost a guy during the draft, and those are two of my best pitchers. So that doesn't ever help, you know.
Oh, dude, I lost pitching big time this year.
Oh,
And
we
I
just hit
keep
him
having
up.
them go on the IL.
I got no
Yeah.
excuses. I haven't really had any terrible injuries. I mean, my two of my catchers are hurt now, so that's bad. But up until now, I can't blame it on injuries. So, you know.
Yeah, my IL has been filled to the brim 3 different times this year. And it wasn't like I was putting a bunch of chumps on there. It was like like Vlad, then I'm not gonna get into it. But just it would be like seven, like I said that one time when I posted after one of the messages somebody had out there, but I was like, man, you could really make a good team just with my injured list. And you could at the time. But I'll continue.
Well, let's look at Chad's team here.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna see how many people are actually listening to this podcast and say, "Hey, I'm thinking of taking offers for Juan Soto. What say you?"
How
We'll
about
throw
Ben
it out there.
Brown?
Huh? I just want to see how many people are listening to the podcast.
I'd say about
Between 0 and 1.
I'd say a solid third of the league listens to it. Maybe
Point two
Yeah,
half.
I'd say
five
about a
members.
third. I'd say about a third do.
Yeah.
I do when I can, but again, this time of year I'm already working 90 hours. I can't if I get any extra time, I'm trying to catch up on my what have you.
You know, you could play it on your phone, put it in your back pocket, and you can listen to it out in the field.
I can't carry my phone on me. I break too many screens because I have to carry heavy objects all the time and they go up against me and then they break a screen. So actually I don't even wear headgear or earbuds because I got to listen for the
Right.
ladies freaking out so I can run to them at a moment's notice. I did have one earbud in my ear for a little while and tried that for a while, but I started totally walking to the left because of the difference of weight. But don't bump. No, but it just drove me nuts. So instead, I just talk to myself or sing to myself or come up with dialogue for short stories or what have you.
Well, let's look at
Get mad
Hack
about the
here.
government.
Hack has the fewest hitting points per games played, and they're 21
Woohoo!
games under. So they're probably that means they have the no, they don't. They are second
Second,
least in hitting points.
baked.
Baked has the least, but they're 58 games under, and you're 21 under. And then pitching wise, let's see where the daddies are. The daddies are, the daddies are top, I think.
Doing
Most
pretty
hitting
well,
points per
yeah.
games played, 19 games under. And then pitching wise, Hack is at a 2.26 non-save hold pitching points per inning pitched, and that's above the minimum. You're not last, but you're not much. I think you're next to last.
Right.
No. There's a couple. There's you're
There's a
10th,
few.
looks like.
Ooh, Phil is
There's
way
a few
up.
down there with me.
119.
And Daddies are 2.18. Daddies has the fewest non-save hold pitching points per inning pitched, and they're 38 innings over. Hack's 46 over, so you're okay in your pitching. I think it's okay to be a little over. I'd rather be
Hauser
over than under.
33 over.
But yeah, our top pitching points is weight, obviously 2.84, way above everybody
Jesus,
else.
let's play though is unbelievable with his how what his record looks like and how what's his underage and his overage on his innings pitched. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, he's got some innings that he
It's
can
gonna
have.
be tough. It's
Yeah,
gonna be tough.
I think he's number one in the prediction model.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
it
no,
depends on if
no,
those
he's
innings
number
that he
three.
picks
Sorry.
up are actually quality innings, yeah, it's going to be fucking good. But if he's getting garbage shit,
Yeah, the
Yeah.
model
like
says
some of these
Yeah.
guys you pick up and get you minus 16, I mean, it can take you the other way in a week or two.
Yep.
yeah,
It
yeah, the
can.
model's weight cows play biz, so plays predicted for third. But that model doesn't mean a whole lot, does it? And then this is your bullpen points, your save hold points. Hack is at 179. The average is 194, a little bit below. And then Daddies are at 196, so above the average anyway. You've been slipping
How
though.
you doing, Lucifer?
I think
On that. Let
the
me see.
Daddies were more toward the top
Oh, you're
early
doing
on in
good.
the year.
Yeah, I've been on a little
Oh, I'm sorry.
struggle
I'm
with
reading. That's Page. No, that's Dad's. Okay, geez. Yeah.
I've been struggling a little bit in the bullpen lately. I had a good streak there between Munoz and Fairbanks. Um, I was on a good streak there, but then the last 2, 3 weeks, they've either not been getting opportunities and God forbid, have had the rare blowout. But I had a couple big negatives recently, and that hurt my average.
So this is for the season. So Hack is at in 12th in OPS.
Yeesh.
Only
Look at
baked.
all those 12s and 10s. Look at all those double digits. It's terrible.
Yeah.
Look at that. 12, 8,
Baked
13,
has a
13,
lower
12,
OPS.
12, 12, 12.
Daddies
That's
are
my pitching, dude.
Daddies are number three
Hey,
in
what you're
OPS.
describing is my pitching.
Yeah, and then ERA,
Yeah.
Hack's 11th,
Yep.
and Daddies are 12th. Of course, wait till next year is number one. They're at a 2.9 for the year, so it's come up. It's come up the past 2 weeks, but
Keep going, gentlemen. I got to refresh my drink. Be right back.
Sure.
you can see Wait is still way ahead of the next team. 3.46 for Bizzotti. I think that's the next team. And they're at 2.9.
See, I knew he was doing well. I didn't until I'm looking in detail at these numbers. I didn't realize just how well he was doing. Boy,
Which
his
one?
whip.
Well,
Wait. Yeah.
Bizzotti or wait till next year?
Wait till next year.
Yeah. I gotta ask Paul. He's keeping up with his games, but he's not using a lot of transactions like he's done in years past. Like I'm actually second in the league in transactions, and
Right.
usually I'm in the middle.
Well,
So
I'm usually amongst the lowest, if
right.
not the lowest. And this year I've actually been making moves and it's not helping. But again, I've had such devastating injuries left, right, and center. There's only so many moves you can make. With the shit pile is called the shit pile for a reason. The biggest turd, the top turd is still a turd, but
But yeah, so
that's
there's
I
Hank.
got my info.
Hitting's not good, and the pitching is yeah, not that
Suspect.
great. I mean, it's a little bit better, but
Yeah.
10th in ERA.
Yeah, usually my pitching is pretty good, but I just have had again injury problems between having what's his name go down instantly and then Kirby go down the day of the auction, but having oh God, see this is why I spent too much time in the heat. I can't even think of his name. Here, hold on.
Cole, right? You had Cole?
Yeah,
No,
Cole. Yeah,
that was
Cole.
you. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, having Cole go down the night before the auction and then having Kirby go down during the auction. That doesn't bode well for your team when you're number one and number
no,
two pitchers. I couldn't see. It's been so long since I even had to think about Cole. I'd forgotten, But
yeah.
I do blame the heat for the last 4 days. There's really something about being in that heat 24/7 that would just fry your melon. You start to forget where you're at, who you are.
Are you guys going to cool off
Anyway,
on Wednesday? We're going to cool off on
uh,
Thursday.
we don't cool off. Yeah, we cool off a little bit on Wednesday, and then Thursday it gets hot again, but only 90. And then Friday goes down to the high 80s. So chance of rain all 3 days, which
There
we'll
must be
take the
like a
rain for
little.
sure.
There must be like a little. I don't know, trough or a bubble that goes down to the center part of the country because
Oh, there is.
we're gonna cool
There
off
totally
on
is.
Thursday. But we've been hot here, but only I think today was the first day it went above 90, and it's going to be like that for 3 days. So two more.
I saw a thing on Newsweek and also is in one of the farm magazines that literally right around northern Illinois, southern Wisconsin, northwest Indiana, and southwest Michigan. It's over the southern part of Lake Michigan, but into the land part of northern Illinois. It's there, and that bubble has been there for like 5 days now, and it's
Okay.
just a heat dome, and it's there and it's stuck there. So they said that originally this was supposed to last 2 days, and now we're up to 5. So it's not cool. I
Yeah.
mean, literally. So
We had, I mean, I guess I didn't check it, but we had what I think, in my experience, it must have been the coldest May we've ever had.
yeah, it was super. That was what one thing too is all my vegetables were way behind because we had such a cold at first cold and wet and then later on cold and dry. We didn't get rain for 3 weeks, but it was still nothing above like 52, 53, 54. I planted some plants in like April 18th or so, which was a little bit early, but they didn't grow for over a month. They grew like an inch and a half until the end of May in a month and a half. They grew an inch and a half, maybe 2 inches.
That's
And
not an
then
inch and
in
a half.
June,
That's like 6 inches, isn't it?
with me, but
According to my
they grew
ruler.
like an inch and a half. And then, of course, this last 10 days, some of this stuff has grown a foot, you know, both weeds and plants. So it's been crazy. Just it's another wacky weather year, and every year it gets a little wackier.
You grow corn or anything too?
Sweet corn, some.
Mhm.
But I grow field corn on what I rent out about half of my land to a neighbor, and then he grows some corn over there, and then some soybeans, and then I have an oat field too. I'm growing oats this year as well. That I'm going to hopefully sell for money. We'll see what happens. But my vegetables, I tried to keep less because Janine says I'm getting too old to be working that hard. So I promised her I'd cut it down a little bit. So my vegetables, I got about a football and a half football field plus a half a football field worth of vegetables, which is way too big for one person, but hell with it. What else am I going to do? Rest, read, watch TV?
That sounds terrible.
Actually, I would love to do any one of those three
Go
things.
fishing.
Or watch baseball? Yeah, go fishing. Oh my God, go
Dude,
fishing.
I wish I could, man. It's like I find out tomorrow when my surgery for moving back's gonna be.
Oh, so that is going to be a done deal then.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna have to get like at
Oh,
least two vertebrae fused, but like, I mean, I find out tomorrow whether or not they're gonna be able to use this hybrid thing. Otherwise, it's gonna be three.
oh, I'm so sorry, pal. So sorry.
That's not gonna make you pliable.
No, no, no. How you been, Lou? How's the head and the heart and the ticker?
My health is good. I don't know.
Good name for a
Good.
book.
I've
The
lost
head, the heart,
25
and the ticker.
pounds since I was diagnosed with diabetes.
Okay.
So I didn't go on the medication that you could probably sell in the black market. I just wanted to do
Right.
it on my own. So I knew that my habits had been so bad that if I just acted more like a normal person, I could probably get the stuff under the level, and I did it.
Yeah. Well, I'm just below. But we'll have to see what this next blood test says. But God, so much health stuff over this last year. We're almost at the anniversary of, well, actually, we are at the anniversary today of 1 year ago today. It's my first my retinal collapse, and then
Oh yeah,
four
geez,
operations
yeah.
later, still blind as a bat.
I
Yeah.
feel
But
for you,
anyway,
dude.
but so the last year has just been whew, tough. Anyway, let's continue on with fun baseball talk.
Well, Judge is the top hitter as he's been. Shohei
Yeah, not
second.
surprising.
The dad's Cal Raleigh is number three
I
now.
know.
The
The
catcher is
wiki,
the fourth best player in baseball right now. There's a pitcher that's probably three.
Schwarber
but
for
good old Schwarbs though, being fourth.
Schwarb's
I'm
number
just so
four for
happy for him.
hitters. And
So
then
happy for him.
Sombreros has Tucker and Devers, 5 and 6. I didn't mention that Judge is on the knockers and Shohei's Let's Play. I'm naming all the other teams here. And then wait
But
till next
man,
week.
your Raleigh, good old Cal has had a ripping last 2 weeks. Oh my God.
Dude, he just hit another home run today. He's got 32 now before
Jesus
the All-Star
Christ.
break. Dude can maybe fucking hit if he fucking keeps his torrid pace up, man. I mean, he's like 60 all day long on him.
No, that's what they said. He was on pace for 62 when I was watching baseball tonight the other night.
We're not even halfway. I think the halfway
I
point is
know.
going to be like early Friday or through Thursday if you
But
want to
then
get
Jeez.
he just
closer.
hit another one, which means he's hit five in like 4 days. So his
But
fucking average is probably up to like 64 by the end of the year.
well, we all know
I bet you it's
this.
like 65
Yes,
now.
it's possible, but there's no way he's going to do that as a catcher.
No,
No,
no.
There's no way. And, Johnny Bench is he's always my yardstick for the toughest, most consistent catchers of all time. And while he kind of has a Johnny Bench body on him, sort of like how he looks a little bit, like in his shoulders and like how he holds his body,
the big
he's
dumper.
no Johnny Bench. But who knows? I've been
Dumper.
wrong a lot. So
The big dumper.
What is with the fucking nickname,
big
Big
dumper.
Dumper?
That's gonna be
Kills
my
me.
next team name. You know,
Was that from
heck
when he
of the
was a
big
baby?
dumpers.
Big
Yeah.
Dumper.
Yeah.
No, I think it's just he's got a big ass. And it's like catchers, all goalies from like fucking hockey, they all have big fucking butts because they're constantly squatting down and standing up. It just comes with the
Absolutely.
territory.
Absolutely.
So that might be why they call him Big Dumper.
Yeah.
So
He's
round
got
out
big ass.
the top 8 is this? Yeah, James Wood for weight and Pete Crow Armstrong for the dads. But I thought maybe
PCA.
maybe we'll look at the past. Let me minimize this. Look at the past. How about looking at the past 30 days? We could see who's hot.
Yeah, why don't we do that?
Sure. Let's do that.
Oh, go back up.
There it is.
There it is.
Actual.
Cal
Look at
Rowe,
that.
number
Cal right at
one.
the top.
Junior Caminero
Right at the
for
top.
Wade. Ellie De La Cruz for McBride's. Ronald Acuna for the Knockers. Juan Soto for the Dads. He's coming on. Jeremy Pena for Wade. And Shohei for Let's Play. That's the top
I,
seven the past 30 days.
wasn't Pena on the pile for a while? Wasn't he on the
No, I
waivers for
think
a
he
while?
started. I think he was on a team when the season started.
Was he? Because for a minute,
Yeah, I think
because
Wade had him
there
from the
was somebody
get-go.
that was there was somebody that amongst the league leaders that I thought it was Pena, but it's probably not. Like I said, I'm not only wrong, I'm wrong a lot. Uh, uh, lately, uh, there's a couple of league leaders in a couple different areas. I was like, oh my god, I've been staring at that name for a month, and then finally now, when I decided to pull the trigger, no, now he's hot and everybody's got him. But yeah, Max Fried, former hack there that I tried to keep but couldn't, and because I forgot, I had him. Oh,
Yeah, Waite's got Freed and Skeens, one and two at pitcher. He's also got Hunter Brown, number five. And then we've got Garrett
I knew
Crochet
Fried
as
would
number
come.
three. Go ahead.
I knew Fried would come back hard, but I didn't think he would come back this hard.
Yeah, he's been great.
Yeah, fantastic. He's got electric stuff, and not only that, but he can dot the I and etc. You know,
The Yankees seem like
12 quality starts and 16 starts.
yeah. There you go.
he's got a decent ground ball percentage too. And I think I looked at the Yankees staff and the baseball perspective. I was just looking at their K and B percentage and the ground, and they seem like they like that. They like, the guys with the higher ground ball percentage. They won't give up.
It doesn't hurt.
They won't give up as many homers, and they seem like they're targeting that. And that's why they went nuts for Freed because he's got a decent ground ball percentage too. It's above average. It's not insane, but it's some of these big name pitchers don't
Right.
have a good ground ball percentage. So they're gonna have good whips, and then maybe their ERA is disappoints you a little bit.
Right.
Crochet is number three for Sombreros. Logan Webb for Let's Play. Scooble's number what is this? Six for Spear. Zach Wheeler for Bizzotti, and Framber Valdez for Let's Play. Framber's a guy with a really high ground ball percentage, so that helps him out immensely.
He'd be a
Well,
good guy for
especially
the
if you're,
Cubs to go after because they got a
uh,
really good infield.
well, and that's the thing too. Houston, they need ground ball pitchers there because the ball flies there on many nights.
Yeah, but if they ain't going to be in the playoffs and stuff like that, and they want to retool, it
Oh
might
yeah,
be a.
no,
They
absolutely.
already made a
No, I'm
deal
just
with
talking
Houston before, so they have that rapport. I'm just
absolutely.
saying.
No, I'm just talking about a guy who's a good match for the field that he is a home pitcher in. That's all I was talking about. But yeah, I'd love to see the Cubs get Framber for sure.
God, I wonder if they would do that.
I
Hey,
don't
man,
know.
who thought they were going to trade Tucker?
Right.
Right.
They're in a rebuilding kind of mode, and plus, it's like Yordan Alvarez. I think they're going to shop him as soon as he can show himself healthy and start fucking hitting again.
What do you think of
Yeah,
Tucker with
I
the
think you're right.
Cubs?
At least he
Do you think,
staying, you're saying?
yeah, do you think the Cubs are going to be able to keep him? Because I'm thinking like now the Red Sox will probably offer him something insane.
No,
Well,
I think that I think they can afford him. I think they can keep him, and who knows, they might. It really depends on what Kyle Tucker wants to do.
I agree with Jeff on all that. It agrees. I think mostly that it's about what Tucker wants to do, but secondly, Cubs have loads of money from the last savings of the last 2 years. I saw their numbers of
Absolutely,
their butts of seats compared to salary, compared to TV contracts. It was outrageous. It was one of the best slash worst, depends on how you want to look at it. But it was one of the best in the leagues of how much money that they had made the last 2 years. So they definitely got the money. So it's all like you said, it's all what Tucker wants to do.
Does he love being a Cub? I don't watch any of the
I don't
games.
know. I haven't heard any.
I tell you what, they look like they're having a lot of fun.
They do.
So
They do.
Well, the past 30 days, look at Spears got the top two pitchers starting, he's got Tarek Skubal and Andrew Abbott, number 1 and 2 past 30. Pepio for Rudy Can't Fail, and then Ranger Suarez for the Gags. Clark Schmidt and Jose Barrios for Bizzotti. Framber for Let's Play, and David Peterson for the Dads.
yeah,
Reagan Peterson.
Another guy
the
with a good
last
Hey,
ground
good.
ball
the,
percentage.
the the last outing he got me -3. So think
Uh,
about where he'd be at if he had a good game yesterday.
Lou, do me a favor and go down a few more guys on this hot list, please.
Sure.
Maybe just about like a half a page worth
Yeah,
or a full page.
over there. What the hell? There we go.
Here.
There we go. Look at that. Sales on there.
Zach
Yep, Zach,
Littell.
that's why I was wondering if Zach was going to get on that. That's one of the reasons I wanted to see. So
No, well, you
he's
can see.
he kind of reminds me of good old um what's his name? Padres, well, former Padres. Anyway, he's the boy with a little curl on his forehead. He's when he's good, he's good. When he's bad, he's terrible. He'll get like 28, then a 31, and then a -11, you know.
Littell?
Yeah. But I did keep him on purpose this year, obviously. But I'll yeah, see
He's
lately
had
he's
a pretty
looking
damn good
awesome. He's
year.
keeping my head above water. Yeah, no, exactly. He's
Yeah,
keeping my
that's
head
not
above
that's not
water.
bad.
The good thing is he's not going negative on you a lot.
For my team, that's not bad at all.
Yeah, not
So
since not since April. Not
is
since
I got
I would love
April
to have
10th.
him.
no, I know that's one when I was referring to him is that little patch there where it was like 29, then 14, then -9, you know. That's what he did last year. He had last year feast and famine, but okay, continue.
So I don't know if Peterson was 7 or 8, but Skeens and Fried are right behind. Chris Sale just went on the IL for Satch. Logan Webb for Let's Play, Littell for Hack, Christopher Sanchez for Satch, and Garrett Crochet for the Sombreros.
Yep.
Oh, let me look at just saves here. Trevor McGill for Bizzotti. He's got 9 saves the past 30
Yes.
days. Felix Bautista for Sombreros with 9. Manuel Class A for Rudy, 8. Estevez for the Cows. Camilo Doval for the Cows. Hader for
Is that
Wade.
the last? Is that the last 30 days?
Yeah, just 30 days.
Man, oh man, my fucking guys are nowhere to be found.
Will Vest
I'm
for
so
Let's Play
pissed.
and
I got Daniel
Hoffman for
Palencia right
Sombreros.
there.
I'm so pissed I didn't pull the trigger on Hater though, because I when he went for like $21 or whatever he went for, I was like, all right, that's too much. I got too many guys to get. And then of course, in the last few things, I'm like bidding $18 on Rux Hudler, you know. So I had the money. I just was too nervous and too dumb.
Rex Hudler.
Yeah, it's my always my example of a below average but handy guy, you know. Good
Hudler.
old Rex Hudler.
I haven't heard that name in a long time.
Yeah, so Estevez is on top in saves now for the year with 22. Suarez
Oh,
had been
shit.
leading for a long time. He's got 21. Was he traded? He was on Sats, right? Or am I thinking of it wrong?
I'm not sure.
Josh Hader, Class A. Finnegan, there we go. So the dad's, he's just hasn't,
Chance he might get traded, and I welcome it.
but would he be the closer in the new team? Probably not, right?
Well, I would hope so. Maybe if he
Yeah,
got
one
traded
would
to the
hope with those
Cubs,
type of numbers.
if he got
One would
traded to
hope
the
with those
Cubs,
type of
they'd put him
numbers.
in the closer role and they'd put fucking Palencia in the fucking setup role.
Yeah,
No
I didn't
offense,
know about
no
that.
offense to the dads, but I think that the Cubs should aim higher than Finnegan. I don't know. I never
Hey
think he's
man,
that
all I
good.
know is we need like valid closers on the team, man. I don't care how many we get.
His walks
Even
are
Emmanuel
good.
Clase
His
is
control's
kind
good.
of
He's just not very dominant, right? I wonder if he has a high ground ball percentage. He must.
Yeah, he's got to. He's got to. It's another Glenn. He's another Beck. You know, he's doesn't have a dominating stuff, but somehow he keeps on doing it.
Here's the pride of Hack Wilson experience, Andres Munoz, number 6
Oh,
reliever for the number
slowing down
66.
recently, but still a stud.
Yeah. He good.
Yeah, he good. 4 earned runs this year. You see it? 4 earned.
I was looking at Class
Wow.
A too.
But he's
Class
just
A's.
not getting a lot of the. He's not getting
28
the
innings and
chances.
4 earned runs. One
Yeah.
home runs. I wonder how many runs that home run brought in.
Oh, a lot, if I remember right.
It was a grand
It was one of
slam
those
or some
nights where I was
shit.
like, oh, I really need some good. What the fuck? Minus 10. You know, it was one of those nights.
I think Class A is another guy with a really good ground ball percentage. It comes in handy when you're trusting your closer to come in.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Double play possibilities up the wazoo. That's great.
Yeah, I got a guy. I have to bring this up. I'm gonna do it a little bit different this time. I'm gonna give you like a couple clues up front that will
Okay.
help you so it doesn't take so long.
Can you give us his first name and last name?
Right. Let's call her Lisa S. No, that's too obvious. Let's call her L. Simpson. Right.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right.
Let's just
So
call
I'm
her
gonna give you
Lisa S.
4 clues. All right, 4. All right. You get 20 questions to figure out who this player is, but you're getting 4 clues off the bat. First clue is this player
Okay.
played for 13 different teams and moved teams 15 different times. So there was a team he played
Sounds
for
like an
before.
expo.
All right. Second is he played from the ages 25 to 44.
Wow.
He was 25 when he came into the league and he was 44 when he left it.
Julio Franco.
No, don't guess yet.
Okay.
Okay.
Number 3, he was drafted by the Cincinnati Reds in the 36th round of the 1999 draft.
Oh, 99. That ruins the guy that I was thinking of.
He was
But
then
I was thinking Phil Necro, so
he was then drafted by the Anaheim Angels in the 7th round of the 2001 draft. And then he was also drafted by the Cubs in the 4th round of the 2002 June amateur draft.
oh.
So that's 3. All right. And number 4 is the one team he's been with 3 separate
2002.
times. Is Boston Red Sox. He was with them 3 separate times.
Wow. He's got me intrigued.
With
You know,
teams in
that's an
between.
interesting.
So now ask your questions.
Is it Rich Hill?
Yes.
What'd you say?
Is it Rich Hill?
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, that
Blue
was
Cracker.
unexpected.
Didn't even fucking ask the question. Is it Rich Hill?
Well,
Well, I
Lou,
guess
you're
I
a
gave you
stud.
too many fucking clues.
That team
Lou, you're
is amazing.
Hey, speaking of a guess this, it's not a guess this, but did you see what I wrote the other day when I was when somebody said anyway, I was just making a joke about some inappropriate, even for the 70s stuff that Lou Boudreau said
Oh,
as an announcer, because he always liked, referring to guys' arms as their hose, and also referring to young players as youngsters. And when I remember Ivan DeJesus, and this is like, I'm not kidding you, it was like 78 or something. The kid, and even as a kid, even as an inexperienced farm kid, but granted, we saw a lot of sex out there, but between animals. But
And
we,
people.
even as a kid, though, watching GN and saying, hearing them say, "Hey, look at the hose on that youngster." That, oh, I tell you. But anyway, that made me wiki uh, the good kid. It made me look up Lou Boudreau, and boy, what a fascinating guy. Started in Illinois, died in Illinois. Uh, Became a player manager at the age of 25. And it wasn't a one off. He did it for 8 years and even took them to the World Series. Just all star 8 times. Uh, he had the most amount of errors his rookie season, and then the next season had second least amount of errors. Just a guy that was just a real, made himself kind of individual. Had the lowest batting average of a infield starter in the American League one year. Then the next year improved, and the next year after that was had the highest batting average out of anybody in the American League. All this other just really amazing feast of famine and just a real self-made tale of a guy. Not only that, but even played professional basketball for a year. Um, just
You
crazy
want to know
stuff. But
something
if you
though?
guys ever get a chance, Lou Boot, what?
You want to know something? His fucking cunt of a
What?
niece still owes Lou money.
Yes, I know.
You know,
For an electric bill, 35 fucking dollars.
she didn't
Where's my money?
she
Where
didn't
is my
really
goddamn money?
she didn't really appreciate, I don't think, fully how good he was, because she saw that I was watching the Mets and she's like, "Oh, you're a big baseball fan." I was like, "Yeah." She was like, "My uncle was a baseball player." I was like, "Oh, wow, that's cool." And I thought maybe he played college, he's a major leaguer.
Jeremy
He's like,
Bonderman.
Lou Boudreau, and I was like, he's in the Hall of Fame. And I don't even know if she knew that or even knows, what that is. Sort of, I don't know.
That
She's so
means,
clueless.
yeah. Oh my goodness.
So she
So
used her
automatically,
uncle's name to stiff you on the electric bill.
Well, the
oh,
reason I was so mad is because the last day I knew she was moving out the next day, and I said, you owe 30, whatever it was, $35, which, not to be a cheapskate, but in today's terms, that'd be like $100, $125. Something was, but she just lied to my face. Like that's the one thing I am suspicious of people. I don't think I'm a
Mhm.
complete fool, but you can lie to me. You can, if you look me in the eye and like, because I can't do that myself. So if you can do that, then you will fool me. Like A-Rod, when he went on the radio show and he said that he didn't do the, I believed him. I was like, well, he didn't do it, but he did. So, but yeah, so she just like took off. She was gone. I was so
yeah,
mad.
I know. I'm a sap for a good story and a authentic sounding smile and a nod, like, oh yeah, that wasn't me for sure. I've always been pretty naive about that, which is problematic if you're a newspaper reporter, which I was for a number of years. However, though, that's one thing that job taught me was I will believe them at the time, but even with people I believe, I will always later on, if it's an important issue, I will always later on double check, but that's one thing. If it's a roommate about 35 bucks worth of electricity, I'll be like, yeah, hell yeah. Yeah, okay, yeah, cool. I'll see you later.
Shouldn't have had it in
What?
my
You're
name.
gone?
I shouldn't have had it in my name.
Yeah. Ah,
You know
I've
what?
had so many bills in my name that got stiffed on.
You should,
I mean, by roommates'
with
wives.
your history in writing, man, you should talk to Mike and talk to him if there's anything about like maybe articles in agriculture and shit. He works for
Talked about that.
BZ.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, and yeah, well, the show went pretty good. I got a couple customers out of it, but mostly I got exposure, and I ended up getting some offers from outside things of to do little speaking engagements or whatever. But of course, they all want me to do it in like May, June, and July, and I'm like, well, I can't. I'm a one man show. I can't leave the farm. I got livestock. Nobody wants me to come talk to them in January and February. So the when I can do it. But anyway, but
Yeah.
yeah, I'd like to do some stories, some what have you. And not only that, but last year was the year I actually started doing a podcast about farming and about organic thing and how to start your own deal, both with chicken wise and plant wise. And then that all got, thrown out the window with the whole eyeball thing. And then so I said, all right, this year will be the year I start the podcast or the TikTok or the what have you. This will be the year I do it. And it
Just
ends up being such a
start with a
crazy weather
TikTok.
year. Oh, it's a crazy fucking weather year. So I didn't end up starting it again. I made 2 episodes that I didn't end up doing anything with. So what I think I'll do is next year I'll do it for sure this time, for sure. And I'll just put those old episodes as, hey, this is what I thought about these things in previous years. I'll just still use the episode. It'll be the daddy throws the Wayback Machine, whatever. But anyway, that's my intention. Because again, I've seen guys that do it just for the shits and grins. It ends up with 500,000 followers within a month, just because they're not totally bullshit. And who knows? You got to monetize everything now. And I hate that everything is monetized. I hate it. But the farming game is such a razor thin margins. Anything that helps increase profit flow, you got to do.
Chad, you should
Well,
make sure you should
that's
wear
the
your
other thing
eye
right
patch
now.
on the
Yeah,
podcast
I
and
know. Oh, I would.
speaking.
I
That's
would
got to
for
be your
sure.
trademark.
Yeah, for
Like
sure.
shades and that thing you do. Like you'll be
Yeah.
like the pirate farmer. I don't know
No,
what your name is.
absolutely. Well, like I said, not the pirate. Look at it more as Snake Plissken, like from Escape from New York, that style. But yeah, but still,
We gotta get you the rest of the outfit.
like, is this showing up? No, it won't. That's because electronics don't work. But yeah,
Yeah.
no, that look. Oh, it won't.
If you go back a little bit, I think.
Uh,
No, no, yeah, there's some
anyway, you
focus.
can't see because it's bright on bright. But it's a good picture of me in the patch. That's why I wear it when I do about 3/4 of my deliveries because restaurants, especially when it gets bad, because you can see today it's not looking so hot. But some days it looks like a ball of fried bacon with a little bit of George Romero zombie right in the center of it. That doesn't isn't conducive at the fancy restaurants for people's appetites. So,
Boy,
yeah. So that's why I wear the eye patches for my fancy places, so I can walk in the front door instead of in the back door where you get stuck in the alleyway for an hour. You know, but it
and if they
works.
don't let you in,
But
it's
I got to wear
rape
the
and
contact though.
pillage.
Yes, exactly. If you guys ever get the chance, there's a guy by the name of Dave Mitchell, I believe. Anyway, he used to be on Peep Show. It's the Mitchell and Webb. Anyway, he has this thing called the Soapbox. It's fantastic, and it's just like these little 2-minute bits.
Seen that
He's a
before.
thoughtful comedian. Yes, it's fantastic. Well, he has one on rape and pillage, and he talks about how bad that is. And he says, but pillage is just as bad as rape. It's not like that pillage is pillage is the oh shit, I can't even remember the quote now. But anyway, it's fantastic. But
Rape would be like a
it's just about how
subcategory of
pillaging is just as
pillage,
bad as raping.
but
It's
rape would
the
be a
Well, not
subcategory of
there. He
pillaging
pillage.
says
is
it's
the
not.
raping of
Pillage
your
would
He
like
says
material
it's
have
goods.
that under its
he said
umbrella.
pillage. Well, not that, but he says pillage isn't the pillage isn't the spoonful of sugar that makes the rape go down, but which is terrible. But he says it's just as bad. He says like it's that bad old uncle that comes up to you. He says, "Oh, what are you lads up to tonight? A bit of the old raping and pillaging, I suppose." And then he says, which is a funny joke. He says, which is a common thing. He says, but you don't look back at your uncle and go, well, about half of that you're right in. You don't. Well, I don't know about the pillaging, but yes, no, it just doesn't work. But yes, the Mitchell, David Mitchell or David Webb. Anyway, he's fantastic. He's got some good stuff out there. But Soapbox, and it's the rape and pillage section. But it's really, and also it comes into has a good bit on how things that are terrible and traumatizing, you add time to them and they become a lot less. Because he says, It's a good bit. It's a good bit.
I'm gonna grab another beer real quick. Be
Yeah.
right back.
No, go ahead. Well, Lou, you're gonna have to entertain the audience because I'm gonna get a half a drink, but I only got about 15 minutes left of me as it is.
Yeah, I think we're wrapping up here.
Yeah, I know we are. Especially if I'm trying to tell stories that I can only remember halfway. That's a time. That's a time to definitely start. Oh, look at the time. Yeah.
Do, 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 do,
All right.
do.
Yeah. Do.
Yeah, I got some egg cartons for you when next time you're out this way.
So through Thursday's games is the halfway point. It's actually the first few games of Friday.
Oh shit.
So I bet you the Big Dumpers got a pace for 65 homers now after this homer tonight.
We should do like a little like a flash of like where everybody's at exactly right after the halfway point.
Well, the Friday ticker, you know,
Yes. The Friday ticker would be the halfway point.
yeah, yeah. I mean,
But just like everybody's like total points at the halfway point, and it's like kind of mirror it to
yeah,
like the
it'll be
second half and
close.
see where like see how up and down people were from the first half to the second half. Be interesting, wouldn't it?
I think if there's no rainouts through Thursday's games, will be like 2 games under the halfway point.
Mm-hmm.
So, but the Friday games, there's no afternoon games, I don't think. So Thursday, yeah, that's the closest we're going to get to a cutoff.
Yeah. Interesting. Interesting. We have to put it on the podcast after that. And
You know what I did this weekend, and I'm probably going to do it this week. But I got the depth charts for fantasy football, so I know that the season's changing because I'm actually starting to think a little bit about football. So, football is what the fantasy baseball guy needs when his team's not going to win it. Like, yeah,
yeah.
looking at football. Then when football falls by the wayside, hey, spring training's only 6 weeks away. Constantly
No,
looking forward
I
to
got
something.
so Lance who just joined my league is one of my one of my roommates that got into it. He thought it was gonna be, I don't know, he thought it was gonna be some shiny like fucking, hey guys, how's everything going? It's great to have fantasy football today, blah blah blah. And then all those guys tore him apart.
He was in it last season.
Yeah,
Uh-huh. How do
it
you
was
do?
funny. So now it's like Lance who's gonna take his spot. It's pretty good. It was just like, oh, I know Connor and Brandon and Tim Mullen,
Connor?
and Will Richards. Oh, yeah. They're all in the league.
Connor. I can't think who Connor.
I think met Connor before. He's a skinny guy. It's like kind of almost red-haired blonde.
Brandon and who else? Oh, Mullins in it too.
Mullen, yeah.
That's a good league.
Yeah. Oh, it's a lot of fun. We have a pretty good year every year.
I like it. I mean, I'm not a big fan of fantasy football as far as it's just not as good a game. I don't think it's baseball, but it's like 10 times more popular, right?
You know, there's so much anticipation up to game day where it really amps you up a little bit more.
I
I think
think I
that's a
think the
big
best thing
difference.
about football, well, one of the great things is the weekly cycle. That it is one game a week, and you look at the matchups, and in
Right.
baseball, it's just there's too much. It's every day, and you're not going to look at it like that.
Yeah, you know what? To be honest with you, though, I can't do hockey anymore. I can't do basketball. I just can't pay attention
Yeah,
like that. I need my time off, after football to start studying for baseball.
right.
And I need to be like focused on my football and focused on the baseball. I just want to do the two. That's all I want to do.
I think
I
that's
don't want
all. That's
basketball. I
all
don't
I
want to
really
like,
need is just baseball and football. I mean, I do basketball and hockey, but it's a very distant,
the
third and
hockey
fourth.
is just like, I mean, I don't know. I was fucking lost in it. It's been so long since I played it. I don't even know the players anymore. The Blackhawks have sucked that long.
Thank
where
I
I just
like
don't watch.
I like hockey well enough, but just relearning the players every time I get back into it, it's too tough, and I just don't have the time anymore, especially with this job. If I like when I retire, yeah, then I might get back into it. But until
Yeah.
that time, nope. Yeah.
Well,
Oh,
I
by the
spend
way, guys, I did find that. Go ahead.
I
Go ahead.
spend like less than 5% of the time in those leagues combined that I do with like, beer league. So,
Yeah.
it's like it's just a, you know,
No, when at Green Eye when we were having the Green Eye pool, the weekly pool, um, I usually did well in that for the year, and it was a cumulative pool as well.
football. You talking about football?
So they had the weekly winners and the end of the season winners. It wasn't too often. I didn't finish in football for football. Um, I there wasn't too often that I didn't finish not in the top 5 or top 8. And then I ended up winning the league once and got second place in the league another time. We're talking out of like 100 people. So then, because I always just had an affinity for football, knowing it and everything else. But once I stopped doing that, I just dropped wanting to know anything about other teams. I just follow the Bears and I follow the Bears, and that's it. So it just once I stopped doing that, then I stopped doing football league stuff, any stuff. But yes, and baseball is my whole everything. And I just wish I could get more games out here besides the MLB network or what have you. But that's kind of how it works out here because I can't get the marquee network with Dish, and we have Dish, so I can't watch Cubs games,
For
which
about
sucks.
10 or
So I
15
got to
years
follow them
now,
by the paper, which we get every day.
for about 10 or 15 years, I've had my picks, my weekly game spread predictions or whatever on this website that's filled with like a bunch of
Yeah.
experts, like, like national guys, people with websites. I'm one of only a few people that's just like a guy. And, like Sagarin for USA Today or those guys, like Massey's picks, he's on there.
Right.
So I do well. I mean, I don't come in first all the time. I think I have come in first, but not lately. But
Oh,
but
that's
it's fun.
fantastic,
So
though, Lou.
I get into it on a team basis, but I still don't know the individual players or anything besides the Jets, really. So
Did
Right.
you know how much the Marquee Network costs?
No,
It's
I
damn
had
near
no idea how much.
it's a damn near $20 a month, or right there at $20 a month. And I carry it during the baseball season. As soon as the baseball season's over, I drop that shit like a fucking hot potato.
Right.
Because
But
why?
it's
What
just
am I gonna do?
it's
It's
right.
just
Right.
it's not
It's
worth 20
just
bucks a month to
criminal.
watch old shit.
It's just criminal anyway that with how much money there is in professional sports, that you can't have any on, well, I shouldn't say any, more than literally 3 or 4 on the networks or what have you. It just, there should be some sort of, I don't, this is the total pinko in me, but one of your local networks should be able to have 20 games per season if you're the local network. You know what I mean?
we have that
GN,
here, like
Channel
around
5.
20
No, they don't
games.
have that here because there's literally like I think they said it was 5 Cubs games were broadcast that you could actually watch last year. And then this year it's down to 3.
Yeah, it's like once a week. The Mets games are on Picks, which was channel 11 when I was
Right.
growing up. It's actually that was the Yankees channel. The Mets were channel 9, but yeah. So like tonight, the Mets game was on Picks, and I couldn't find the Mets game. I'm like, where the hell's the Mets game? Because it wasn't on SNY. And then I thought, oh,
Right.
it's on. Maybe it's like on Apple or not Apple, but YouTube. Maybe it's on YouTube or something. So I got YouTube
Right.
Mets Braves, and then I searched for it. So I start watching this game, and you would think that I would have been tipped off by the graphics, but it was only 20 minutes in the game, and they said it was bottom of the fourth, 1-0, and it had the right players like Acuna and David
Right.
Pearson. And I realized I'm watching a fucking video game. This is like MLB the Show or something like that. And so I switch it off. But it turned out the Mets were on picks tonight, but they hadn't labeled it right on Comcast. It was like Penn and Teller. It was like a Penn and Teller special.
Right,
So I
right.
didn't tape it. And anyway, so I watched it for like 10 minutes before I came down here.
Oh my goodness. Hey,
Chad, you gonna be in the city on Saturday?
the city, yes, I'm going to that Steve Sostak Memorial Baseball game.
Ooh.
And but that's going to be in Oak Park. And that's going to be on Saturday. You know, our friend that did himself in, that was the co-founder and um
What time is
uh
that?
co-founder. What's it?
What time is that?
You should come out if you can. I think it starts at noon or 1, and then afterwards, but it won't be at the same location. Smith might not come, but almost everybody else is coming. Smith has a new job, but also he's hard to get at things. Doug, if you're watching us, get your ass together and your shit together. Get your priorities straight. But no, but yes, it'll be out there. We'll play for 7 innings, or until our first catastrophic injury. And usually the injury happens before the innings is done. And just fantastic. But unfortunately, because of my eyeball, my ocular situation, I will not be playing this year. I can't even play catch. I tried to do it the other day and I could not do it. Couldn't tell
Wow.
where the ball was. There's no depth perception. Everything was hitting me in the wrist or flying over the top of my glove. And for a first baseman, that is not an ideal situation. So,
No.
no,
Unless you
no,
got a good
sir.
bat.
Well, the reason why I'm saying is
No.
that if
My
you're still
bat is
around the area,
mediocre best, Lou.
if you're still around the area, you want to come up north. I'm having people over for poker around 6 o'clock. Chris Batt's going to be over. I think Will might. Some
Oh,
guys.
it'd be fantastic.
So
If I'm still around, I certainly will. Secondly, I'm doing my deliveries either Thursday or Friday this week. So I will be in the city for that. So if you're around, I'm hitting the old neighborhoods and a couple near north and moderately far north, like Avondale type of neighborhoods, maybe even Hermosa. So that's that. Oh, and I gotta tell you too, uh, dude, sorry I haven't been able to do this as much lately. It's just been one minor emergency after another, following another. Usually they're farm related, but occasionally they're health related lately. So I'm just sorry I have been letting down the league, and I feel poorly
fuck
about that
off with
because
that
whether I
shit.
finish
No, I mean,
whether I finish in fourth or whether I finish in 12th, I still want to be
Letting
a
down
team
the
player.
league. What are you
So,
talking about? Come on.
no, you're fine.
well, by that I mean my
We
dear
haven't had anybody
comrade,
on more than
beer league
once,
brothers.
so that's good. We went through the whole order without a repeat, unless you count the time that Phil was on with
None.
me.
Yeah. Well, and on a high note, if anybody does get out here, we are happy to take visitors out here at the farm. I'm having a number of visitors. Yes, yeah, nice move, Jeff. We're having a number of visitors out here at the farm, including a real live customer appreciation party towards the end of the year, but then a warm up party at the end of July. So if anybody's around, Jeff, you'll be hearing about that. Um, but also, I found that David Mitchell clip, and I will be sending it to you two personally here within minutes after we log off. That it's and tell me what you think, because I think it's a rollicking good laugh.
Well, I'll probably like it.
Yeah, he's an intellectual smartass, and I usually like those sort of fellows.
Who's that?
And also,
Well,
he doesn't
just
like
put like
anybody.
Benny Hill on Prime or something. Like
Yeah,
all
you
of Benny
can.
Hill is either on
They
Amazon
can.
Prime or it's on Netflix.
No, it's on Amazon, I think. I think it is.
Is it really?
Yeah,
Dude,
but
I
they
haven't
did put
watched that shit since I was like fucking 13 and I
me
cracked
too.
my ass up. It was like the British like Three Stooges to me. And it was
It was
dirty.
me. Yeah, me, it didn't hold up. With me, it didn't hold up. I liked it, but I was still like, oh Jesus, here it comes. Oh, he's gonna slap the ball guy's head.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
know,
we all know that.
however,
I
though,
mean,
uh,
I
no,
like
no,
when
I
he
did
I
have
like
some
when he
laughs.
was
Don't get me wrong, I did have some laughs.
I like when he was tech symbol, a rock star. And
Yeah,
then
yeah,
they go back to his town and like they interview like his old teacher, and she's like, and
yeah.
it's Benny Hill, obviously, and he's like wearing like
Right.
teeth, and she's like, "Oh, that Tex, he was quite the character. I remember he used to sing, or I remember him doing the dirty limericks in class." He's like, "You mean he used to sing them in class?" She's like, "No, he would hum them." I don't know.
Well, I gotta tell you though, there was some bits from that Benny Hill episode I watched. And granted, it might just been the episode I watched that I was holding my gut laughing that loud. It was that good. But there was other parts that I was like, oh God, 13-year-old me would have loved this. But late 50s me, I was like, I kind of shook my head and groaned, But
staying
uh,
power, right?
yeah, no, exactly, exactly. If you guys do
Oh,
get a chance, though, I'm still recommending highly that
hey, did they put the naughty
uh
bits in there?
uh
Did you get to
what
see the dancing naughty bits?
yeah, oh they do put yes, yes. No, but I am recommending highly that COVID era not Dave Barry, what's his name? He's the guy from What We Do in the Shadows, the TV version. And he was
Matthew
also in a
Berry.
bunch of other stuff. Mighty Bush. What?
Yeah, Matthew Berry.
Yeah, Matt Berry. And but he did a short-lived show that got truncated because of COVID called Year of the Rabbit, and it's a Victorian era thing where he's a
Watch that
cop in
wherever
old
your
London.
place.
It is, yes, it is so effing good. There's only 7 episodes, but every single one's a winner. Fantastic.
Dude, that guy's great. That guy's
Anyway,
great in everything
love you
he's done. If
guys.
you watch
We'll talk
Toast of
soon.
London,
Oh yes, Toast of London's yeah, totally underrated. Of course, Garth Marenghi's Dark Place, really good. Etc. But lads, good to see you.
all right, you out,
Talk to you
man?
soon. Best of luck the rest of this
Good to see you as
season.
well.
Neither of you guys, I don't think, will need luck. I do think I will need luck, so feel free to wish it back. Um,
I just want
but
to
yeah,
tell
see you in
you.
the future, if not in the pasture.
I just want to tell you that
Yeah.
I was thrown off my game. Diane came down, and so she ruined my whole Benny Hill thing. But it wasn't dirty limericks; it was dirty songs. He would sing the dirty song. She's like, he
Yeah.
would sing the dirty songs in class. She's like, no, he would hum them.
One of my favorite ones was the wheelchair races. When they had the wheelchair races, that was pretty good.
I still like them,
But
All
but
right.
anyway,
I
You
hardly
had a
ever see it.
doctor of you had a Doctor of the Year one that I remember that I really liked quite a bit. And it was all about, just Playboy stuff, and then, with the nurses, and then ignoring the patients. And it kind of reminded me of a Monty Python bit that was a little bit more satirical than Benny usually was when he said, and I still remember the one part, he goes, yeah, I think, a lot more treatment for this guy. And we're going to have him well. And he goes, doctor, he's broke. And he goes, oh, no, I think he's good right now. Yeah, discharge him. One of those bits. All right. Love you guys. Talk to you very soon.
come out Saturday if you can. If you can.
All right. I will. And if not, let me know when the next one happens.
All right. Yeah, it might be a couple weeks down the road.
Okay. Sounds good. Lucifer, good luck with your hens.
All right.
May the force be with you, and may your rooster be gentle.
Yeah, let that rooster rule.
Good
It
night,
sounds like
Josh.
he's taking care of everybody already.
If you end up having two of them, that's okay. Because if you have, how many hens did you say? How many chickens did you get then?
We've got four,
18,
and two of
20,
them might be roosters.
4 of them?
Yeah,
Oh,
we
well,
only
shit.
we
If
only
you got
have four
four of
right now,
them,
so we have 8, including the roosters now.
yeah, then eat
Fucking
one
chicken
or whatever.
swingers club is what you got.
All right. You need about one rooster per 15 or 20 hens. So
Yeah,
you may have one too many. So give
yeah.
them to a neighbor or put it in Craigslist or something.
Diane
Yeah.
said we're going to get rid
Sell
of the
your
one that's
cock to
meaner.
somebody else.
Whichever one is
Yes.
meaner is going to get we're going to get rid of.
I agree with those sentiments 100%.
Yeah. Well,
So,
I've got a friend that
all
has got
right,
like
love you guys.
I have a coworker who's
Oh,
got
sorry.
30 chickens, so she said she would take it.
All right, good. That's a good way to do it.
All right.
All right, see you guys. Take
See
care.
ya.
All right, take
All
care,
right,
buddy.
love.
See ya, Pat.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Oh, I love that guy.
Are you going to go up there on Saturday?
Oh, I'm actually the game's at my house in my basement. I bought a
I mean, the softball or the baseball.
no, there's no way I'm not supposed to be in the car that long. I gotta make several stops and stuff. I just can't ride in a car like that'll take me an hour to get down there at that time of day.
Yeah.
So it'd be nice, but I've got people coming over that day too at 6 o'clock. So, I don't move around too good right now. I need my time.
Yeah. Well, good luck to the dads, even though I'm going to try like hell to pass you.
Well, I had a pretty good day today. But fuck, I mean, I'm really starting to fucking gain the innings because I mean, up until about 2 weeks ago, I was sitting right around flat, and I'm chasing right now is what's going on. But I got 71 points today, so I'm the top point getter so far. Uh, Eduardo Rodriguez had a great day.
Good. I got
He
him in
beat the White
the next
Sox
league.
10-0. He got me 29 points. Nick
Woo.
Martinez turned into a swing guy, so now I now have a starting pitcher and a relief pitcher who actually can get me holds and pitch an inning or two. So Nick Martinez is now that guy. I'm surprised because he actually put up good numbers as a starter. So,
Not real good though,
but
right?
but now I got Chase Burns coming into the mix, and I got to drop somebody after today to bring him in. So I'm excited for Chase Burns, man.
He looks
That could
good.
be the
Yeah.
next like Paul Skeens type guy, man.
Yeah. I
He's
looked at his
throwing
numbers. He looks
smoke.
good.
He was like what, the number 5 pick in the draft this last year?
Yeah. I'm not sure.
Dude, I tell you what, man, when I see pitchers that were like picked in the top 10 that are out of college, like seniors and shit, they're kind of ready to go. So they're not going to stay very long they're not going to stay very long in the minors at all
You see what's happening
because
though, like players are getting to the majors faster. I mean, the top guys,
exactly.
that's going to make the MLB draft, it's never going to be like the NFL draft, but it's going to be, it's going to be a better watch than it was 10 years ago or something. I think the
Yeah.
analytics goes a long way. They're able to identify things better than they used to.
Well, you know what though? The MLB draft is coming up here probably in about like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It's right before the isn't it right before the All-Star
It's
break?
right. Yeah. It's right around the All-Star game, right
It's the
before.
Saturday before the All-Star
Yeah.
game. So it'll be interesting to see. I mean, well fuck. I mean, let me
I figured
let
we'd
me
have
look up.
we'd have Sean on right after the draft.
Yeah, let me try to look up the draft order. Okay. All right, I'm going to share this with you. Here's what we're looking at. Washington Nationals with the number 1 overall pick. Colorado Rockies, or no, actually it goes Angels, Mariners, Rockies, Cardinals, Pirates.
White Sox 10th.
Yeah, that's fucking just like that. What a dick in the ass. Seriously, you were that bad last year and you're still fucking picking 10th. You better pick good. White Sox notoriously pick fucking terrible players in the first round. Always. Always. They have more first round busts than I've seen ever. And Cubs are terrible too, to be honest with you.
The Mets are in the bottom
I mean,
three, I guess, huh?
I don't think the Cubs are as bad as the White Sox as far as like first round busts, but they're fucking close.
Scroll down. The Mets are must be in the bottom three picks, I guess, huh?
Where's that?
Oh, they must have traded it away or something.
Maybe you lost it due to signing Soto.
Oh, is that what it is?
So yeah, it goes to 27. Then prospect promotion incentive picks.
Look at that. The Orioles got three of the top 31.
Oh, so there's a promotion that Bobby Witt Jr. came up early, and since he finished top three in MVP voting, they got the 28th pick. So look at that. That's interesting.
Well, look at the Braves brought up Drake Baldwin, and he could win Rookie of the Year. I mean, it's not been a banner year.
Yeah, but that'll come next year. I mean, if it's like if he, I guess that these stipulations. Okay, let's read it. It's like if a player who was rated as a preseason top 100 prospect by MLB Pipeline, Baseball America, and or ESPN, or at least two of the three, and was on his team's opening day roster and goes on to win Rookie of the Year award or placed in the top three in MVP or Cy Young voting prior to qualifying for arbitration, the club is awarded a prospect promotion
Oh,
incentive pick after the
there you
first
go.
round. Wow. I didn't know that was a thing, but now that we look at that, I'm like, whoa, okay, so that is incentive for teams to bring their players up
Right.
and
Not play the game.
throw them out there and see what they can do. Look at the. I mean, I don't know if the Cubs kind of qualify for this from Pete Crow Armstrong since he wasn't a rookie last year, but I don't think they brought him up that fast either.
Hey, the Orioles. Maybe you've already heard about it, but Rushman's hurt, and then the catcher they brought up got hurt,
Look at this shit though.
which wasn't
30 and 31 they get.
which wasn't
There's
Basalo.
Corbin Burns.
Yeah,
It's,
I'm wondering if the Orioles are going to bring up Basalo because they didn't bring up. They brought up Maverick Handley when Rushman got hurt,
you're
and I
talking
think
about the
Handley got
catcher?
hurt.
Are you talking about the catcher?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh,
Well, Rushman got hurt, yeah. So how old is Basalo though?
they could bring him up.
How old is he though?
I don't know. He's young, but
That's the thing though. It's hard to put a 21 or 22
well, they
year
passed
old
him over
catcher behind
initially.
the plate.
They brought up Maverick Handley again, but I think Handley got hurt. I thought I saw that, so I'm wondering if they're going to bring Basalo up. McCann's gone. He just signed with somebody else.
Your Mets are 38.
38. All right.
38 is your first pick. Wow.
Cubby's 17. Yeah.
Surprised you don't have a first round pick. It's like, what the fuck happened there?
I think you're right. Like Soto, where are the Yankees picking?
Well, I think, okay, wait, let's look at this Yankees over here. Wait a minute. Third round. Second. Okay, that's the second round. So it doesn't have anything over the Yankees here. And then we don't have Yankees in between here or here. So I'm assuming
They
this
signed
is the
Freed.
pick.
When they signed Freed, maybe they lost it.
That could have been freed too.
Where are the Braves picking?
Let's see, maybe it's yeah, see, none of the Yankee shit is fucking doctored up.
Go up to back to the top. I want to see where the Braves first pick is.
Okay, compensation for Max Fried, the Yankees forfeited the second round pick in a contemporary and the compensatory pick for Juan Soto when signing Fried. Oh, what the fuck that means?
Yeah, that's hard for me to get.
Yeah, I have no
How
idea.
does
It's gonna be
how does Juan Soto affect the Braves? I don't get it.
yeah, right. What the fuck is that? Maybe it was a compensatory pick they got for Juan Soto going away that went to the Braves. I don't know. Anyway, So yeah, that's what it's looking like. All right, Cubs draft 17th. Baltimore is 19th.
Oh yeah, where's the Braves? They're not up here either, huh? Where they are,
Uh,
22,
are they 22?
Yeah,
Yep, 22.
that's where they would have been normally.
Yeah, the good ones like you got Arizona's got 18 here, and then they got 29. So they're going to get a couple of good players, man. That's a good spot to be in. Now look at KC here. KC is at 23 and they're at 28. You don't think you're going to find two really good fucking starters in that range? Some really high quality, either whether it's out of high school, somebody you can like move and not churn and burn through the systems where you have to get rid of them right away, but somebody who's like right out of high school that's just smoking the ball, and that's going to need 2 or 3 years to get going. Those are the fucking prospects you stash and let them go through the system and fucking like build and build and build. Then you bring them up and boom.
Oh, look at the
So it's like,
Orioles.
you got an 18-year-old in the system for 3 years. He's 21. Even that's early to bring somebody up.
Orioles got three in the top 31. I mean, their first pick's not till 19, but that could be, let's say, two good prospects for the Orioles to hoard in the years to come.
Yeah. The Orioles are an intriguing team that you could fucking trade with. I mean, if you really needed some people, because right now they have no pitching.
Well, they've got some pitching, but they don't have that top of the line stuff that they need.
No. Interesting though. Yeah, this is MLB.com, their draft order. So you can go right on their fucking website and look at this.
I never go on MLB.com. I guess I should.
Why wouldn't you? Dude, MILB.com is a good one too. That's the minor league one.
I just go on Fangraphs, Savant a little bit, Baseball Reference. I go on that.
Well, Baseball Reference will give you all that shit, but I mean, it's just there's really good formatting with the two.
Have you ever gone?
Well, here, let me bring up the MI. Do you ever go to the minor league baseball website?
I don't.
Oh, hold on.
Do you ever go on retrosheet.org?
No.
It's got every game going back to like 1876. So, like, if you can remember a game that you went to and who they play, approximately when it was and what you can go back and get the whole box score of that game.
Yep.
Games from when you were a kid.
All right. Check this out. So this is MILB.com, which is the minor league MLB.com. So if I go to like who you're searching for, I just put in Chase Burns. There he is. Click on him. Start to show me shit about him.
I bet Sean goes on this one.
Yeah. I mean, why wouldn't you? If you're like gonna have an NA group, you got to know the players that you have on your NA roster.
Yeah, or you can just pick a bunch of names and just set it and forget it.
Well, yeah, if you want placeholders that just suck.
I got Wizarowski and Drake Baldwin and Michael Harris and Corbin Carroll, and I might have even had James Wood, I think, at one time too.
Here's the other thing too, though. You can go straight to here and oh wait, how did I get on MLB? All right, it just bounced me over to MLB. Anyway, maybe I hit the wrong button. But no, MILB, I look at stats and look what they've done, split stats and all that stuff about some of these younger guys and stuff like that. The one thing I kind of look at is like, okay, if a guy's fucking like rocking it in a fucking AA and he's like 26, he's probably overmatching his fucking players that are coming through there. So why isn't he at AAA?
That is a real thing. They were saying that like it's worth about, what did they say? I thought they might have even said 20 runs created points, runs created plus points
Right.
per year that he's over or under the average age for that level. It's a huge thing.
It's like if you're not out of double A by 26, there's an issue.
Yeah.
So that's one of my fucking things. It's like, okay, if you got an old guy in double A, I don't take it seriously.
Right.
You know, it's the younger people that are playing in double A. They're just mowing the fucking place down. I take double A a little bit more serious than triple A because double A is where all the talent's at.
Right. Right.
You know, the really like high end talent to start the season off.
Triple A's older and like quad A players. And
Well, yeah,
it's good
quad A
baseball, but it's just
players,
not as
guys
exciting
that
as
are
far as upside.
yeah, guys that are dying to get back to the show, mixed with young and up and coming people. If those young and up and coming people have their shit together, they're gonna mow those guys down, no problem.
I do look at Baseball Forecaster has the major league equivalents for minor league players. I do look at that every year. I get that one every year, the minor league handbook.
You've sent that to me before.
Yeah, actually, yeah, I misspoke. They do have those in the Baseball Forecaster, but the fuller stats, the full stats, is in the minor league handbook. So that's one of the books I still get because I've cut down my baseball book thing by about I don't know 70%. I don't get every book that's out there now. I just get I think I got 3 this year.
Dude, I had to curb my shit too, man. I mean, that's like fucking I've got prospectuses and you know what? I don't look at any of them. I might as well box them up and put them away and fucking get the room back.
Every year that I get the new book, I take the old one and and recycle it or give it to Goodwill or whatever. I don't keep them.
I'm gonna have to start like maybe reselling these online. Somebody wants to get nostalgic about 2000 or have a
Or
maybe they want a complete set.
yeah,
They got
collector.
onto 'em.
Yeah. But I do think it was kind of entertaining. We were looking at, when we were at your place, we were looking at old handbooks, the prospect handbooks, whatever they're
Oh
called.
yeah, dude. Yeah.
It was fun to look at their top 100 list and see the names that fell by the wayside and the
Well,
ones
going
that
back
turned
down
out.
to like you go all the way back. I think I got 2000. I think I got one that goes back to 2008 or something, and it's like Jay Bruce is on one of the front of the ones. Yeah, they're always good to look at. And then you see the top 30, like, prospects in a year and shit. And then you're looking at them and like, oh shit, that guy did really well. And he was like the 23rd fucking prospect on fucking so and so.
I think for his time, Bruce came up kind of young, right? Because I remember thinking
I think he was the number one overall pick, wasn't he?
I don't know that stuff. But I remember when he was in the middle of his career, I thought that he was like 35 and he must have been like 5 years younger than I thought he was. So I was like, God, he must have come up early for
Hold
his
on.
time. I mean,
I am going to.
now players
I'm,
come up at 22 and it's commonplace, but
Jay Bruce.
he had to have come up relatively young.
All right, Jay Bruce was drafted by the Cincinnati Reds in the first round. He was actually 12th overall in the 2005 draft.
When did he
Out of high
start?
school. He was out of high school. He was born, get this. Jay Bruce was born the year I graduated high school, April 3rd, 2 weeks before I was born. So it's like 87. So he's 38. He's 38 now?
He's 38 now?
Oh shit. He's 38 now. He was out of the league for like the fuck.
If you had said he was 48 now, I wouldn't have batted an eye.
So his last year was 2021 with the New York Yankees, and he was 34 years old.
Yeah.
He played 10 games. That was it.
It must have been, 5 years before then that I thought that he was about 35, 34. If you asked me what my guess was, that's what I would have guessed. And he was like, oh my God, he was like 29 or 30, whatever it was.
let's look at the trades that he was involved in. Like, dude, I don't think it was ever traded for anybody, but maybe he was. Oh no, he was traded by the Reds to the New York Mets for Max Votil and Dilson Herrera.
Dilson Herrera. That was the big piece.
Then he was traded by the Mets to the Cleveland Indians for Ryder Ryan. How's he done for you?
Couldn't tell you.
All right. Then again, in December 3rd of 2018, he was traded by the New York Mets because he came back to the Mets. He was granted free agency, signed with a free agent as the Mets in January of 2018. Now in December 3, okay, he played for the Mets the whole year. Then he was traded by the Mets for with Jerson Batista, Justin Dunn, Jared Kalenic, and Anthony Swarzak to the Mariners for Robinson Cano, Edwin Diaz, and cash. Wow. That one contract that was such an albatross, but yet you still have that fucking awesome closer.
Yeah, well, thank goodness Dunn and Kellenick especially didn't pan out.
Yeah. Swarzak, I've seen him in bullpens. Never heard of Gerson Batista, though.
Yeah.
And then after that, he was traded by the Mariners with cash to the Philadelphia Phillies for Jake Shiner, a minor leaguer.
Hmm.
And then he voluntarily retired from the New York Yankees on my birthday on 2021, April 18th. Said enough's enough.
Chad mentioned
So,
April 18th tonight. He said that's when he planted his spring plants or whatever.
oh,
Bruce had some good years. He was a good player.
he wasn't a bad player, man. I
No, he was
mean,
good.
well, I mean, looking back at it, he had 319 career home runs. He had 1,455 hits. He was a career batting average of 244, which isn't that fucking good.
What was his OBP?
Career WAR of 19.7, which is serviceable.
Yeah, it's not too good. What was his
Um,
OBP?
his OBP was 314 career. Slugging was 467. And his OPS was 781. He was a pretty mediocre player.
Yeah, but he had some
He had
good
a little
years
bit
in
of
there.
pop in his bat, you know.
Look at like his best year.
My guess is he came up a little too early. Let me see his best year. The year he hit the most home runs was actually his best year. There's two of them. 2017 was a really good year for Bruce, but 2013 was as well. That was when he was with Cincinnati. So he was with Cincinnati for most like first 8 years of his career, like or 8.5. Then he got traded to the Mets. That year he got traded to the Mets, so he had a pretty good year as well. So it's like between 13 and like 17, where it's like hot years. And even 19, he had a pretty good year. He just didn't get a lot of RBIs. He got a lot of home runs because he was probably coming off the bench all the time, pinch hitting. Oh, anywho,
Want to call it a night? It
yeah, I think I'm done, man.
was a long one.
Yeah, yeah. We stayed on quite a while for after Chad got off, but it's always good talking with Chad.
Well, we're all the way through the order except for Steiger. So,
Tiger is probably never going to come on to this.
you know what I'm going to try to do? I'm going to talk to him about it. See if he can do like a Monday afternoon. I could do it from work. Just a short one. But it seems like the only time we could do it, you know?
Might be able to make it work as long as I know like a couple weeks ahead of time.
Yeah. I'll contact
Or
him.
maybe if I'm on like fucking recovery from the surgery, I'll be at home already. Just a little zippity doo dah.
All right. Well, we'll see. We'll back up to the top of the order and see who we get for next week.
All right. Well, I'm off to a good start, but I'm not promising anything. I got Chase Burns coming up tomorrow. Looking forward to watching how that goes. So I'm going to be dropping somebody to make room for him.
All right. Well, text me tomorrow.
Try out.
If he's like some boring veteran that's a backup
No,
caliber for our
probably
league.
somebody that just picked. Oh, actually, you know what? It's probably going to be? Probably going to be Patrick Corbin. I looked at that motherfucker. Seriously, looked at him, and I'm like, he's never gone fucking negative. Well, yeah, he still hasn't gone negative because he's got me zero. He hasn't gone zero either all year. I'm picking him up thinking, okay, he can get me. I don't care if he gets me 7. Hey, fine. Most of the time he's getting like 15, 17, 20. But he gets me fucking 0. Fucking piss me off. Anyway, Lou, love you. Take care.
All right. Take it easy.
All right. See you, buddy.